You just saved democracy. Host Gushes to CNN about reactions to her new Biden interview. Radio host Andrea Lawful Sanders gushed to CNN about listener reaction to her interview with President Joe Biden, revealing one even told her, "You just saved democracy." The big story to emerge from CNN's debate Thursday night was the panic after deadly early stumbles from Biden set the tone for debate coverage, though his performance improved as the debate went on. Calls for Biden to drop out have dominated post-debate coverage. The president's allies point to post-debate events and to the claim that the race hasn't changed since the debate. On Thursday, Lawful Sanders interviewed the president for Words the Source, Andrea Lawful Sanders, and later told CNN her interview was hailed by listeners who appreciated her service to democracy. Erica Hill, Andrea Lawful Sanders. It's great to have you with us this morning. Look, you got right in there with the president in this interview which aired this morning. What are you hearing from your listeners in reaction to what the president told you? Andrea Lawful Sanders. I am so glad that, first of all, thank you for having me on this morning on your show. It is an honor. I am so happy that that was the first question that you asked, because right after the interview aired at 6K this morning, I began getting comments like, "You just saved the democracy." You were patient, you were kind, you allowed him to speak, and we understood what he was saying. Amidst the noise that we have been hearing about the fact that he was too old and it was time for him to retire and give it to someone else. And so I was proud of that. I was proud that Word was chosen to be a part of this conversation so that people could get a clearer sense of what he was discussing and why he wanted to stay as the presumptive nominee for Democratic President of the United States of America. Erica Hill. You told my colleague Laura Coates that you were a little concerned in the wake of the debate. Andrea Lawful Sanders. I was. Erica Hill. I think. Were your listeners as concerned? Andrea Lawful Sanders. It was interesting because the listeners, as we were concerned, myself, Joanne Bell, James Peterson, and Niall Blass, who was 24 years old, we found someone who was much younger, who was willing to have the conversation with us as we were beginning to feel concerned, the listeners said. And they were typing away as we were talking this, "I don't care if he's walking with a cane, I'm voting for Joe Biden. I am watching my freedom slipping away." And at that point, the Supreme Court had not yet ruled on all the things that they had come down with a day later, and that even solidified it even more for them that they would rather vote for Joe Biden than Donald Trump. So I was so heartened by that. I have been in many living rooms having this conversation over the last few months, and I said to the people who were, waffling, "Oh my God, this doesn't look good, etc., etc." I said, "You've been listening to two men. Both of them are older than we would have liked them to be. One of the two men that you are listening to, who was the one that would make more sense for the United States of America? Who is the one that would work with the people? Who is the one that has the data, the proven policies that would give us what we needed as a country to move forward?"